It's a very, very interesting tale that we've just come across. A local Brisbane boy, a couple of years ago, just riding his BMX bike, doing jumps and stunts, and suddenly did a front flip in the air and landed in a very awkward position and no feeling. None whatsoever. He woke up in the ICU hearing the doctor saying to his mother, by the way, he will never walk again. He will probably never get out of bed, won't be able to feed himself, dress himself, or probably even breathe by himself again. That man's name is Nathan Handley. He joins us on the line this afternoon, defying all of the doctor's prognosis, which is a grand thing. Good afternoon, Nathan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. Now, just tell me a little bit more about the accident and the lead up to it in the first place. Were you wearing a helmet, for example?
Yes, I was wearing a helmet. I had that accident at Dutton Park. I was just out with a friend, basically, and saw these jumps and thought we'd give it a go. I actually did just as we were getting the bikes out of the car. My mate hadn't put his helmet on. I was looking at my helmet. I was going, I should have put it on. Should I not put it on? And it was like, just a tiny decision. I was like, I think I should put it on. And
So you're taking all the correct safety precautions?
yeah, I did. Yep. And yeah.
And so then you were just, doing some tricks or attempting a new one and had a prank?
Pretty much. There was a set of 4 jumps. The height of the jumps are like probably nearly 2 metres high and then about 2 metres long. There's not much in the middle, so you sort of have to make it. And pretty much made the first one. The second one I was going too fast, and the third one I just didn't have enough speed for. So like the front wheel sort of came up short, and then went over the handlebars and landed straight on the back of my neck. Basically, just didn't know what was going on.
Nathan, you were saying that you were with your mate. Did he realise immediately that you were in trouble?
Well, I think he was thinking that I was having a heart attack, actually, because he rang my mum and said, I think Nathan's having a heart attack, and my mum was like, what? That's weird. No, it can't be happening. So basically at the time I was just like, what's going on? I actually had been in a hospital previous to that, about a few months ago before that, so I didn't actually want to go back to hospital. I was like, no, this might just be a shock thing, just wait it out a bit. So we laid on the ground for a while, and like I couldn't feel anything. Like it felt like somebody cut my head off, basically. I actually said to my friend, I was like, where's my body at? Like, I just can't feel anything. And I didn't have enough strength to sit up, so basically I couldn't see anything.
Right.
So I was freaked out. And it wasn't until a council worker, I think, came along, and it's like, no, this guy's in big trouble. Like, we need to call the ambulance right away. So ambulance came, took me to hospital, and pretty much everything was like full speed from there, like straight into surgery. And like even when my mum rang my dad, and my dad freaked out, he was just like, what the heck? Like, the one thing my mum said to my dad was like, don't drive, or else you're going to speed and might crash. So
Understandable.
yeah.
So when they've operated, they've given you emergency surgery, they've obviously found that there has been a severe fracture and high enough up in your spinal column that it would be classified as quadriplegia. How long did it take you to process the information that, by the way, this is it, you're not going to be moving again or breathing on your own?
So pretty much like I fractured C6 and 7 in my neck.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, as I basically woke up in ICU just hearing the doctor say to my mum, he's going to be in a bed like this with the life support on. Like, I had the life support in at that time, and so obviously I couldn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could do was hear, and actually our way of communicating to my parents was, well, by blinking. Like, I'd blink at them to say I love you or how are you or all that sort of stuff. And so waking up to hear that and not being able to say anything, I was like, what the heck? Like, no way. Like, no, I'm definitely going to prove you wrong now. No, you can't just say that in front of me. And like, my mum was beside herself too,
Oh,
so,
yes. I'll be the worst parent's nightmare.
Oh. So did your mum or the doctor go through the details and explain this to you as well?
Yes. So not until sort of I got into the spinal ward in acute, they sort of started explaining stuff to us, and like there was so much stuff just to learn about it, and what we had to make adjustments for, like they had to change their house and all that, and, you know, adaptive driving sort of stuff, and stuff you have to learn about the injury, just like a huge list of stuff. But, you know, like, you have to learn that stuff, but it doesn't mean you have to sort of accept it.
So you didn't accept it? Your reaction right from the start was, no, this isn't going to happen. I'm going to fight this.
Oh, definitely. Yep. Yeah. 100%. Still am.
Now, Nathan, you've had this remarkable progress, and there's some wonderful footage on YouTube of you going through the various physiotherapies. Now, you got in placement with a Walk On, which is a physiotherapy program in Brisbane.
Yep.
And was that something that the physiotherapist at the hospital suggested?
No, they didn't suggest it. Actually, the way we found out about Walk On was Walk On operates out of a gym for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in hospital, we basically did like a field trip to that gym.
Right.
And Walk On, since Walk On operates out of that gym, when we got there, the nurses that came with us, they said, don't talk to those guys in the corner, they're the opposition. And me and my dad were like, well, how can you have opposition? Like, we don't understand that at all. So as I was still looking around the gym, my dad went and talked to them and found out more, and we're like, oh, Dad, like, we've got to get in this program straight away. Like, it's going to do great things. So they were really keen to have me there, and I love it. Like, they've brought me so far.
And you've got a lot of your upper body movement back, which is quite incredible. So I presume you've got a lot of strength in your arms and shoulders to help you sort of manipulate and manoeuvre and pull up on the various machines. And then you went to California for more intensive therapy over there.
Yep.
So whereabouts are you at the moment as far as mobility goes?
So, like, right now I can basically able to stand by myself, and then after about 10, 15 minutes of standing, I can have my dad hold the walker, and then I can basically, the furthest I've walked with me taking the steps all by myself is pretty much 30 metres.
That's incredible,
Well, that's okay.
Nathan. What do the doctors say, the ones that said that you would never ever walk again or probably not ever get off a ventilator?
They're actually quite quiet about it. Like, I think they'll be, like, obviously shocked. They always as you said about my upper body, they always mistake me about, like, what level I am. Like, I'd come back in and they'll be like, oh, so you're a paraplegic, right? I'm like, no, I'm a quadriplegic. So I'm just always shocking them, you know.
Doctors hate being proven wrong, but I mean, this is the
Yes,
the
they
best
do.
place to do it, the best way to do it. It's wonderful.
So-
Now, you took part in the 2009 Bridge to Brisbane. You've continuing the physiotherapy here, and what you're planning to do now is go back to California to get even more intensive therapy. What is your eventual goal?
Oh, well, unaided, definitely. And I'll get there.
And do the people who are helping you with this therapy, both here and in California, think that that is a realistic goal?
Oh, definitely, yeah. They're 100% behind me, and they know I'll get there if I just keep pushing the way I am.
What do they do in California that is different to what they do here?
California is basically is the mother of the program. Like, the Walk On came from Project Walk in California.
Mm-hmm.
So, Project Walk was huge. There's people from all the way around the world from there. I have friends from Scotland, and there's people from Dubai. It's massive, and but the main big difference is they got a bit more experience. The facility is a lot bigger. They have more equipment, and since it's not sharing with a gym, they can do whatever they want when they want, and they don't have to worry about being in people's way, sort of thing.
So it can be so much more intensive as far as the hours spent and the times of day that can be arranged too.
Yep.
And Jim, you've made some good friends over there, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So when are you planning on heading back to California?
Hopefully, like, obviously as soon as we can, but February's the time we went the other two times. So look at this time we're looking at going back in February, but obviously depending on when the money comes through, sort of thing.
Sure, yes. So
And
you're raising
Nathan
funds
is
at the
raising
moment?
funds.
Yeah. How are you going about raising the funds?
Basically, how we do it is we do barbecues outside RSLs or outside office works, and that's the way we've been doing it. It's because it's probably one of the easiest ways. You just
Sure,
sit
that's
there and
good.
sell sausages, but yeah, that's so. At the moment, we've probably got like $5,000, so we've still got a lot to go.
Little way to go, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to help, they can sponsor you too, can't they?
Yes, so I have an email address called iwillwalkagain@gmail.com, and then I also have a Facebook page called the Nathan Handley Appeal. So,
Nathan, I think that your tremendous courage and your will and the determination to prove doctors wrong is just fabulous and inspiring. And I would love one of these days for you to walk on into the studio and chat with us in person.
oh, definitely, I'd love to do that too. I'm sure we will one day.
I'm sure we will too.
Nathan, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Lovely talking with you. And if you want to help Nathan get back to California to go on to hit the road ahead, that project for him to walk unassisted, it is iwillwalkagain@gmail.com, or you can visit Nathan Handley's Facebook page.